Hey, what's up you guys? Luke and Dodge back here with another race recap. Today we're going to be covering the Maxxis Tires 2020 Vegas to Reno. Now this race actually happens to be the longest off-road race in America, which is pretty sweet. It was 514 miles. We're not going to be covering contingency in this video. We made contingency its own video. Make sure to check that out on our Instagram. But let's get right into the race.
Guys, we start off the weekend Friday morning at about 11:30 a.m. with staging. And we got a couple big hitters, starting off with our boy Seth Quintero with Red Bull Off-Road. Then we got Dodge Bowman. He's kind of nobody really likes him.
It's whatever.
Along with Adrian Oriana. Then we got Kristen Matlock, the legend herself, along with Joe Bolton from Multi-Tool Racing, and one of our good buddies, Braden Baker. Then Colton Husted in his Textron Off-Road, getting everybody a run for their money.
True, he's quick.
Along with probably our favorite competitor, Mike Pasquarella with Red Cow Racing.
All right, so Luke mentioned it. First guy off the line because he won the last race is Seth Quintero. Super quick, already setting an aggressive pace.
You got Risk Racing, Caden Wells, and that kid is fast too.
Yeah, right behind him is DG Motorsports.
Along with Rancho Racing, our boy Adrian Oriana.
True, and then Caden Wells' brother, also with Risk Racing.
Along with Kristen Matlock right behind him.
Following her is it's the Cabinet people.
Then we got Multi-Tool, Joe Bolton right behind him.
And then it's BK Racing, number 1817.
Zachary Sims and his Yamaha right behind them.
Following him is Braden Baker.
Then right behind him you got Maddie Wedeking. Then right behind her you got Colton Husted and his Textron.
And then Shock Therapy truck goes by.
With Nolan Hindley. Then you got Class 1 Motorsports.
You got your Cowies.
In the Kawasaki class.
See how they do. And then this guy, this is his first race, RHI Powder Co. And then we went off the line.
Dodge Bowman, Scott Baker, Braden Baker's dad's off the line right behind. You got Josh Rowe.
And you got Greg Hempel in that super aggressive looking Polaris RZR.
One More Day Racing in the yellow Yamaha.
Don't forget about Mike Pasquarella with Red Cow Racing.
Coming in hot.
That kicks us off for the first 30 people off the line. Right here is actually our dash cam footage of us going off the line. You guys can see how deep the ruts are right off the line because so many people have gone through there. We'll show you a little bit of this and then we're moving on to mile 50 and what the times are looking like. All right, you guys, first 50 miles, super tight, super dusty, and very, very tight on time. Right in the first 50 miles, you had Braden Baker leading the pack on time. Only by a few seconds, but he was leading, setting a very aggressive pace. I texted him after because he actually didn't finish, and I asked him what happened. This trophy light right here, he hit when this trophy light was at a dead stop at about 50 miles an hour. Everybody was okay, but that ended Braden Baker's race. On the other hand, congrats on being in first place. Right behind him was Ryan Ottersberg, and then Colton Husted, Kristen Matlock, Adrian Oriana, Joe Bolton, Seth Quintero, who's in 7th, who won the last race and is one of the fiercest competitors. Caden Wells is maybe his number one nemesis. And then Aaron Clark, and then Caden's brother, Corbin. The times are very, very close. This is only the first 50 miles, and it's a 514-mile race. So the next checkpoint we're going to see is the physical running order at pit 3, which is around mile 120.
So here we are at race mile 123, or also pit 3. This race I was a media guy, I tried to capture all these clips, and I know some of you saw me because you did siren me, specifically you Seth, my mans. So coming through pit 3 physically, you had Seth Quintero that came in, then you had Caden Wells right behind him, along with Joe Bolton, Kristen Matlock, and Adrian Oriana. As you can see, it's still really tight, and this is physically, but on corrected time, the order has changed a little bit. So here we are at pit 7, mile 274 on course, and this was a crazy pit. A lot of people had a lot of issues, but as you can see physically, you have Seth Quintero still leading in first place through the pit. Then shortly behind him, you had Caden Wells, who had to unfortunately stop and fix a CV, but we'll get to that in a second because right behind him you have Colton Husted, who was still charging hard, and shortly behind him was Kristen Matlock, who sadly had to stop as well and fix a tire. Along with right behind her class was Maddie Wedeking, and they're both charging hard. Everyone in the class is going fast, and
Yeah, for us, Luke was able to catch up with Caden Wells' mom right before they came in, and he was also able to capture tons of the drama.
How's he doing? How's the race going?
I guess he's in first.
Have they had any issues? How's the car running?
He hasn't had any issues other than at the last pit we noticed he had a hole in his axle boot.
Oh.
So we are either gonna stuff it with grease at this pit or change it.
Okay.
But if he's in the lead,
Then you're just gonna keep on trucking. That's what we like.
we might need to just stuff it.
So, Caden Wells' mom mentioned that they had to potentially change the rear CV on their car. And as you can see, they did. And it was a little crazy. There was tons of people around. They were trying to get it fixed as soon as possible. And I don't know what the terrain was like before this pit, because there was probably 4 or 5 other cars that I saw come in, and they also had the same issue, that left rear CV that had blown, and they were all trying to change it as quick as possible, because whoever gets out front first, they're going to probably hold that lead, and the longer you're in the pits, the more positions you're going to lose.
Yeah, for reals. And I was behind Caden when he was in the pits, and my crew, you know, they hit me up on the radio. They said, hey, we've had a ton of cars come in with issues into this pit. Be careful. We don't know what's out there, but we need you to be careful. And as I drove through the race, I didn't see what they had potentially broken on, but what I did notice was, man, the silt was so deep. You know, there was countless places where if you fell into a rut or out of a rut, you could hit something, and I'm sure that people were charging in the dust, pushing a little too hard, and Caden Wells right here loses 6 minutes due to this CV change. And I would like to argue and say that he lost a good few positions here, and that also reflected on his finishing position due to this change. We sped this up a little bit, cut some pieces out of it, but like we said, this was 6 minutes in the pit. As someone who's thinking about that, 6 minutes isn't that long, but when you're sitting in the race car, all you're thinking is, we have been here forever. I worked past 4 hours to pass these 3 people, and they just went by me. So you can tell that Caden Wells is fired up, ready to get back out on the track. Kristen Matlock's stop was much quicker. She had had a flat tire somewhere out on the course, and her team just threw a new tire in the rack, and she was good to go. I don't think that she lost any positions, which is always good, so she was not impacted too much by this stop. Okay, so at mile 400 in pit 11, we're going into the night, it's getting dark. Luke had to run to the finish line in order to catch the winner, and so we weren't able to get as much footage of these pits, but Colton Husted has taken the lead on corrected time. He has closed that 5.5 minute gap behind Seth Quintero, meaning that he is within the corrected time on winning, but he's actually not physically leading. Seth Quintero is going to have to pick up the pace a little bit in order to put the win in the bag. Behind Seth is Kristen Matlock. Behind Kristen is our old boy Caden Wells. Even though he had that 6 minute CV change, he's still in the top 5. And right behind Caden is Maddie Wedeking. This is anybody's race. All right, so as you can see, Seth Quintero right here, first guy across the line. There's no official results yet. They're waiting for Colton to come in. If Colton doesn't come in within 5.5 minutes, then Seth Quintero gets the win.
He was like 5.5 minutes behind, like at the start, 5.5 minutes behind you, and it's been 8 minutes.
Yeah! Yeah! No! Ah! Do I get it?
Yeah, you get it.
Yes!
Unless there's somebody else out there that we know. We don't know anybody, but you're good.
Yes!
You're good.
Oh, come here, give me a hug. Oh, so rad. Take your trophy. Take your trophy. Whoa! Is it really 8 minutes? Yeah!
It's 40 and it's 40.
Ah!
Killed it, buddy. Killed
Well,
it.
it's 10:50 now, so it's been 10.
I gotta go shake his hand.
Oh man. No, I sat behind Matlock for 150.
No way.
They wouldn't move.
Oh, she blew up an axle, right? Blew up an axle and
I don't know. I was pushing hard to try and catch her. 4 minutes, man. It sucks.
It's a long race.
It was a long race. You deserved it though.
You're tired. You should be tired. Boys, that was close.
It's close.
Y'all had them biting their nails there for a second.
Yeah.
He actually thought he had lost.
Yeah, well, just like Laughlin, I snuck up behind at Laughlin a few races ago and beat him by 30 seconds, but Seth actually ran a great pace. It was hard keeping up, but 4 minutes, I can't complain. But
Especially with the water as well. That was crazy.
everything, the dust was bad in the first few sections of the race, and then this last section it rained a lot. It was slippery as can be. So, I mean, I'm happy to even be here. So, coming home with a second, I can't complain.
Well,
How was it?
It was dusty, super dusty.
And rain, water.
Yeah, the rain was very nice. It spoiled me for a little bit, and then, you know, it came right back, the dust did. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm very grateful to finish the 2020 Vegas to Reno race. I hadn't finished this one since 2017, so.
Really?
Yeah, the last couple years, it's just been my nemesis a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was nice to accomplish a finish. I wish it would have been a better finish, but we're hoping for maybe a third. We'll see. I'm not sure.
Looks like you got it.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering I actually hit a couple rocks today and had to change a couple flats, and it was a rough one. So yeah, we were just kind of babying it in, and we just wanted to finish today. I mean, we wanted to win, but you know how that goes.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, so here are the slides for the finishing positions of all 30 racers. As you can see, only 17 of the 30 finished the race. Hate to see it, but it was a brutal race. Tons and tons of carnage, and it was also really, really long. So, like we said, we hate to see it. We'll see you guys at the next race. But thank you guys for watching and tuning in. We're super grateful for the opportunity we had to do this race recap. But that's it for the Vegas to Reno. It was an awesome race, and it was an awesome time watching all the footage and seeing how everybody did.
But hey, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and hey, leave a comment if you liked it. We want to hear it. If you didn't, we don't really want to hear that, but it's up to you.
Hit the comment, all right? And if you guys have any footage of future races that come up, if you guys are participating in any way, reach out to us. We want to add those to future recaps we're doing. Thanks, guys.